Now, what if I told you that the low-key rapper is always the one who wins? Is that something you feel like has some kind of truth to it? I have a couple things to say about this, so yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, if you ask me, a low-key rapper is a rapper who clearly is low-key for a reason. I don't think you just become one out of the blue. The way I see it is, it's definitely a calculated move. Some of the biggest names in hip-hop right now are extremely low-key. As an example, Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about what's going on in Kendrick's personal life because he doesn't put it out there, and I'd like to keep it that way. Kendrick is the perfect example of someone who can really afford to be low-key. I mean, the guy is a walking goat, okay? That's probably why. I think when you are at that high of a level and have so many accomplishments, you really being out there doesn't serve you too much. You've built a reputation around being this rapper who consistently drops great bodies of work, and you do that every 3 years. Meanwhile, during that empty 3-year space, when you aren't releasing anything, you're letting the music grow on people without having to maintain your presence in the music industry because the product is so damn good. This is what I call the Kendrick formula, and yes, I just made that up, so make sure to cut me a check if you're gonna be using that term, okay? But notice how most new rappers are so far from low-key. Their face is everywhere, they're doing all kinds of interviews, they're always popping up as features on multiple albums every single year. Their whole life is somewhat documented all over the internet. A lot of them just don't take a step back from the spotlight, mainly because they can't afford to. But hear me out, they still can do it. The thing is, when it comes to them being low-key or not, the negatives outweigh the positives, so they don't operate in a low-key manner. Look at 6ix9ine, he built his entire rap career around being all up in people's face and starting beefs with any rapper that was in his way. Looking back on it in hindsight, we can clearly say that it didn't play out like he was hoping it would. But let's not forget how big of an impact Tekashi 6ix9ine had on the internet during his 1-year campaign of being on top. It'd be a complete waste of his time if he initially started off as this low-key rapper who doesn't want to bother anyone. Why? Because we would have never paid attention to him and he would have been just another semi-hot rapper who got a couple of hits, and that's about it. This entire topic actually directly relates to the popping rapper trap. The way you come into the game is usually how you leave it. If your introduction to the rap game is full of controversy and negativity, that's usually how you'll exit it. That's why I always say setting the tone from the beginning is so important. That's why the majority of rappers who've stood the test of time often initially got noticed because of their actual music and not because of any clout chasing activities outside of the art. I think it's extremely hard for this generation of rappers to stay low key though. First of all, pretty much all of them are young as hell, so they're all gonna be using social media to the fullest, and we all know how much Instagram can absolutely destroy a rapper's mystery. I mean, if you're on there 24/7 documenting your entire existence, you can't call yourself low-key, which is okay if you're not really even aiming for that anyway. Everyone ain't built to move like Kendrick, and plus, most rappers don't even have the capabilities that he has, and that's why he can afford to conduct himself in that way. And let me add in something I should have said earlier. Kendrick, for example, didn't start off being the way he is right now. You of course have to put yourself out there and build a reputable brand when you're starting off, but I think there's a certain level where when the rapper reaches that level, they can tone it down. They can be as low-key as they wish without that affecting their reach. But of course, you gotta do the groundwork first, so let's not forget that. The reason why the low-key rapper wins is very simple. The low-key rapper gets the luxury of preserving himself in this crazy business we call the rap industry. The low-key rapper doesn't get distracted easily because not everyone has access to him. The low-key rapper is also very picky about what he or she chooses to share with the world, because once it's out there, now it's everyone's business and not only yours. This right here is a problem, because if you're trying to be a great and well-respected rapper, details about your personal life should be kept private. You really don't want the first thing people think about when they hear your name to be that ex you broke up with a couple months ago. What exactly does that have to do with building your credibility as a rapper? Sure, it'll help you stay relevant for the moment, but obviously I'm talking about the long game here, my G. The smart rapper knows this. That's why most people don't even have a clue that J. Cole is a married man. He's been with the same woman for over a decade. The absolute best thing about being a low-key rapper though is you can always choose to reveal more if you want. But on the other hand, if you're the opposite of this low-key rapper, once whatever info is out there, you can't really undo it. So now you're at the mercy of strangers knowing every single thing about you, and maybe that's not what you wanted initially. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is you can take a couple steps forward, but you can't take any steps back. There's a lot of power in not revealing too much. I think I'm the right person to say that. Am I right or am I right? Being that low-key rapper isn't for everyone, trust me, but I do think it comes with a whole lot of benefits that will work in any rapper's favor.